Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. Today is Friday, August 28th, 2020, and I'm sure you've seen this 2020 betting odds graph by now. Pretty much it's been plotting where Joe Biden and Donald Trump are in the nationwide betting odds. They go through numerous markets and have an overall average as to whether or not Joe Biden is the favorite to win based off where people are throwing their money, and whether or not Donald Trump will win based off where people are throwing their money. In 2016, there wasn't a single point in time where Donald Trump was on top in the betting odds, which is why Donald Trump led throughout this entire period, starting in mid-March, ending up through the end of May, early June, in which Joe Biden took over from there. But Donald Trump's lead was never really on the national average, more so in the betting odds because people expected an upset again and didn't want to lose their money. Following the beginning of June, Joe Biden has consistently led Donald Trump in terms of betting odds, even peaking at around 61 cents for a Biden yes share, only 37 for Donald Trump. The numbers have since narrowed up pretty significantly over the past couple of weeks. In the beginning of August, let's just say a month ago, Biden was up plus 25. Today, he is only up 7. So it's a very dramatic swing in favor of the president. But why? The numbers aren't too different. At this point in time, Biden leads by 6.5%. The last time it was that narrow was a 7.1% lead on June 8th, 2020, following Joe Biden's surge in the betting odds. Well, let's take a look at the nationwide data back then. June 8th, during this time period, Biden was only up 7% nationwide. He's now up 9%. So a 2% increase in the vote share, hovering above 50%, which he barely did prior to June and July, and people are less confident that Joe Biden will win. I don't think that's what this story is telling. I think people are expecting an RNC bump in the next couple of days, and when those betting odds jump up for Donald Trump, they will cash in. But if we don't see a bump, we're going to see Joe Biden return to the exact same position. This wasn't because of the DNC. This was absolutely not. The DNC got more viewers than the RNC. The DNC was as good, if not better, than the RNC in terms of speeches. If you look at the way that Americans were receptive to the DNC, two new polls come out today. Biden plus 13%, they match. And I'm not going to make a separate video about that because the overall average remains roughly the same. But if Donald Trump doesn't see any numbers that end up benefiting him following the RNC, it's safe to assume that we're going to return back to normal because people are accounting for the RNC's bump, which happened in 2016. I mean, the 2016 election data wasn't exactly too far off. Looking at 2016, during this time period, when the Democratic convention happened, when the Republican convention happened, sorry about that. Let's go ahead and see where the 2016 polling averages were. So at this point in time, following the RNC, I remember because I was at Boy Scout camp and one of our counselors was talking about this for the Citizenship in the Nation merit badge, and Donald Trump ended up on top immediately after I came back. I came back on a Friday night, and next couple of days, all of a sudden, Trump starts leading in the national average, and that's very significant. Trump should not have been leading at any point in time in the 2016 campaign season for the sake of Hillary Clinton. She was up 3% on election day and still lost with 232 electoral votes. Could you imagine the electoral map if Donald Trump was leading on election day? But the different thing about this election is that Donald Trump never led. Didn't even come close to it. The lowest point for Joe Biden was when he was leading by 4.4%. Today, he leads by 7.1% on the RCP average and 9.1% on the FiveThirtyEight average. So if we look in comparison to Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden is doing better. While there were periods of time where Donald Trump was doing significantly better than where he was 4 years ago, that has since changed. So why this sudden spike in betting odds for Donald Trump? Well, people are likely accounting for the fact that the RNC will kick in and the fact that Donald Trump is likely to narrow up this election. I don't think anyone was expecting Joe Biden to maintain a 9-point lead through election day, but if he does, it's game over. But nobody's really expecting it to. Everyone is expecting this race to narrow up. So with a combination of the RNC and people are seeing new polls out of states such as North Carolina that could possibly hint that Joe Biden has not locked down that state and that Donald Trump has a better chance at winning than he did before, all of these factors will attribute to the fact that Joe Biden is only at 53 cents a share and Donald Trump skyrockets up to 47. Now, I'm not going to deny that this is good for President Trump, just he needs to maintain it. Because realistically, not much has changed in a number of these states. Let's talk about the three most important ones. Michigan, Biden leads by 7.3%. This hasn't wavered. In the state of Wisconsin, Biden leads here. Let me go ahead and see if I can actually click it. Wisconsin, Biden leads by 6.2%. Like I said, hasn't wavered too much. Let's go ahead and take a look at the state of Pennsylvania. Biden leads by 6%. Hasn't wavered too much. So yes, it has narrowed down from before, which could attribute for a slight increase, but overall, Biden is leading in almost all of these swing states, and it's not just here. Florida, he leads by 6%. Taking a look at the state of Arizona, Biden leads by 4%. Taking a look at Colorado, Biden leads by 15%. State after state after state, all positive for Joe Biden. Even in Texas, he's only down 1%. Trump won here by 9%. In Ohio, Biden is only down 0.3%. So I don't understand entirely why people with money are not wasting, but spending their money on Donald Trump's vote share. They are definitely anticipating something, but realistically, we didn't see too much of a bump from the DNC. We probably won't see too much of a bump from the RNC, especially with less viewers. It's going to be very hard for me to see how Donald Trump could somehow turn around this election because of one convention. And while it did turn around the 2016 election for a very small period of time, we haven't seen any of that throughout the entire campaign season, where Donald Trump is able to poll better than Joe Biden, or even bring Joe Biden under 50% since he officially won the nomination. So the predicted map also is reflecting a very sudden change. Let's go ahead and refresh so we can see how these states have moved. Florida is now 52 cents for a Democratic share, 56 in Arizona. North Carolina has flipped. Pennsylvania and Wisconsin and Michigan are closer than before on the overall national numbers. Let's take a look at the 7-day trend. You can see, 90-day trend. You can go ahead and see how much things have, reduced for Joe Biden at his peak, being at 60 cents, being at 63, which arguably isn't too bad because this is the nationwide map, but let's take a look at some of these states. North Carolina, I think, is a perfect example of how these betting odds have dramatically shifted. So in the 90-day average, pretty much Joe Biden led throughout the entirety of June, July, early August, and then mid-August hits and Donald Trump takes it away from there. Donald Trump goes from the beginning of August being at, 46 cents a share, all the way up to 57 cents. That's a huge increase for the Republican Party. And they're seeing increases not just there, but in Florida. Looking at the 90-day average as well, Joe Biden has a very strong lead here at 64 cents on July 26th. Narrows down, sure, but now it's come even closer. It's 53 cents for a Democratic share, 52 cents, 50 cents for a Republican share. So getting very, very close. So a lot of these swing states, which were previously locked down for Joe Biden in the betting odds, are no longer not locked down, which means that people are expecting Donald Trump to do better in some of these states and actually come closer to winning the election than before. Because when Biden was leading in North Carolina, when he was leading in Arizona, when he's leading in Florida, and he was slightly leading in Texas, slightly leading in Georgia, there's a lot more leeway for Democrats. Now that Trump has reclaimed his lead in Iowa, yes, he did. Reclaimed his lead in Iowa, reclaimed his lead in Ohio, reclaimed his lead in Texas. That puts Donald Trump even closer to winning the presidency, which means that when one poll comes out that shows North Carolina narrowing up, all of a sudden, people are getting worried. People don't want to lose money because of that recent poll that was released. What about Arizona? A new poll comes out that shows it within a percentage point. Michigan, a new poll comes out today that shows the Republican Senate candidate ahead and a tie on the presidential race. I mean, looking at all this data, one could say that maybe Joe Biden's numbers are going down, but there isn't a conclusive reason as to why. The DNC was not a flop. There was no negative, result from the DNC. In fact, Joe Biden's approval rating performed much better in terms of opinion polls following the DNC. So this is likely an anticipation for Donald Trump. I'll say it again, and I honestly think this is true because people don't want to lose their money. I mean, there's betting sometimes hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars on who wins the election. And if they're able to saying that Donald Trump will be the upset winner again and be correct, maybe they were right in 2016 or they're wrong and don't want to get burned again, they will throw money towards Donald Trump. And then more and more people will do so. But honestly, if we don't see too much of a GOP bump formulate following the convention, we likely could return to around late July, early August numbers where Biden leads by a pretty consistent amount. But you can't ignore the fact that it has narrowed up, just we probably won't see it continue to narrow up unless we see conclusive data that shows that Donald Trump is doing better than where he was before. Otherwise, we return to normal. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Before you actually go, I want you guys to go ahead and try to fill out this form. It's asking you who you think would be in Joe Biden's cabinet if he wins the election. The link will actually be pinned down below and in the description. So if I forget one, it'll definitely be in the description, but I will 100% try to pin this. It's bit.ly/B Biden/C cabinet, so Biden cabinet, where you can just fill this out with Secretary of State, Secretary of the Treasury. I would really like it if you guys are able to fill this out. You can research some of these candidates. Some of these are required questions, so you can't just put Secretary of State and move on. You're going to have to fill out not almost all of these, around a third of these, but honestly, it'll be worth it. I'm making a video out of it, so that'll be pretty exciting. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to comment down suggestions below. Subscribe on the left if you haven't already. Check out the Instagram and Twitter. At the bottom left of the screen, there's also a Discord link for you to go ahead and join. On the screen, there's a video you can watch and then a playlist for my 2020 election predictions. Don't forget to check out this form in the description, and I will see you all tomorrow.